Hey everybody, it's RJ, your host, and welcome to Hash It Out. The CBD and cannabinoid wellness trend has firmly taken root in the United States. But with many companies hiding behind proprietary blends or adding ingredients in their products without disclosing them to consumers, how can one be sure that what they're getting is really what they want? In this episode, I'll be speaking with Davina Kaonohi of Apothec about their promise to never ever sacrifice conscious consumerism. We'll also talk about the role that CBD, CBG, and CBN plays in health and wellness, the differences in consumption methods, and more. Without further ado, let's hash it out. My guest today is the CEO and co-founder of the CBD-infused skincare and wellness company Apothec. Welcome to the show, Davina Kaonohi. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi. Yeah, thanks for having me today. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Now, where are you joining us virtually from today?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Okay, so I'm just about an hour south of you then. Right
Oh,
on.
nice.
I'm a stone's throw away. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited to ask you about all the work you've got going on at Apothec and sort of clear the air regarding the questions regarding the CBD wellness craze and trend that has certainly taken over much of the country. So just to
Right.
dive in here, when did the company officially launch? Was that January 2019?
No, we actually just launched in December 2020, but
Oh,
we've
okay.
been working on the brand and building and getting certifications over the last year. So all in, manufacturing. So we put a year's worth of work, and then we finally launched our product sales in December.
Got it. Got it. Now, I understand that the journey to launching Apothec actually began over a decade ago, or about a decade ago, when your great aunt, which I've learned, who was afflicted with 8 autoimmune disorders, started creating custom body care blends that helped ease her pain. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, so she was diagnosed over a short period of time with many medical conditions and autoimmune diseases. And basically, many of the medications were causing her more damage. She was allergic to them. So her prognosis was pretty much bedridden for the rest of her life if she would live that long. And so she decided, if I'm going to be in bed, I'm at least going to feel good when I'm stuck in bed at home. And she started creating products and learning about plant based remedies. She actually started growing her own cannabis plants. One of my sisters is a grower and gave her some plants to start growing, and she started making Rex Simpson oil and creating these products. And what happened is she actually started feeling better, and she was able to get out of bed. That wasn't her intention. Her intention was like, if I'm stuck in bed, I might as well, have better
Right.
skin and feel a little better sleep and have less stress. But it started helping her, and people realized that and they would come to her and say, hey, I have this, can you make me something for this? And so over the last period of time, she's created over 40 formulations, but she didn't know really what to do with the product. So about a year and a half ago, she came to me and said, I was given a gift and I want my products to go from the kitchen to the world. So that's really our goal, is
Oh,
to take these products and working now with medical doctors to make sure that they truly are safe and they work as they're supposed to, and bring them from the kitchen to the world.
I love that. I love that it's a family affair. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I want to dive into that topic because Element Apothec. In looking into your company, I learned that y'all make a point to focus on science, environmentally sustainable practices, and transparency, particularly by not omitting any ingredients in your ingredient list or hiding behind proprietary blends, which you really see
Right.
a lot lately in the CBD and cannabinoid world. The company also has a medical advisory team of doctors focused on the safety and efficacy of your products. Um, you know, there are so many products out there now that list these cannabinoids in them. So tell me, how can a consumer trust what they're getting in their CBD products, and how do you ensure that your consumers are getting what they pay for?
Yeah, I mean, it's really important for the consumer to look more than just that product looks great, but look at the COAs and which is a certificate of analysis. If people don't know, and look at what that certificate says, you can see if there's pesticides and metals. You can see if the cannabinoids that are in the products are actually accurately labeled. I mean, recently, so many studies that have come out where they may say 500 milligrams, but it's actually only 50 milligrams of CBD. And of course, it's not going to be as effective because you're only getting 50 milligrams over 30 doses or something like that. So
Right.
that's really important as a first step. And then really look at the labels and make sure that, that they have all of the ingredients listed. And part of it is really, looking further behind the company to make sure that they're trustworthy and that they're committed to sustainability, so that you know that the ingredients that you're getting are also clean ingredients, because maybe the CBD is clean, but maybe all of the other ingredients aren't, and you're putting this stuff on your body and in your body. So I mean,
Right.
it's such an important thing. I'll stand on a soapbox all day long and talk about it, because in the U.S. even we have over 1,000 ingredients that are banned in Europe and Canada and Japan that we can use in personal care products. And these are things, maybe in small amounts, they don't impact people, but small amounts over long periods of time, there has to be some type of impact on our body. So it's really looking, looking behind the label, looking at the certificate of analysis, looking
Mm.
at the company to make sure that you're getting the products that you're actually paying for, and that they work, and that they can actually have an impact for you.
Yeah, certainly. And so looking specifically at your topical products, you offer an array of lotions and balms and face serums and things like that. They come with cannabinoid blends that include CBD, CBG, and CBN. So,
Mhm.
how exactly does the process of absorbing cannabinoids through the epidermis work, and how does it differ from other consumption methods, such as like oral consumption?
Mhm. Right. I mean, it works similar. In fact, if you think of kind of the receptors, cannabinoid receptors in our endocannabinoid system internally, we have the
Hmm.
same thing. Those same receptors are also through our skin and our muscles as well. It goes through our entire body, and so the way that you would ingest a tincture is very similar to how that CBD operates, or CBG or CBN, on your skin in terms of triggering those various receptors. And there's things like CBN, for example, that trigger your keratin cells, and overproduction of keratin cells can lead to aging. And so, getting those specific cannabinoids into your skin and allowing them to be absorbed, like CBG specifically, has been studied on hydration and anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. So you think of skin and acne and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
dry skin, or a lot of skin conditions are an inflammation of your skin. And so, if your body is absorbing these cannabinoids and triggering these same receptors that you have internally as well, then you're going to get these benefits from having those ingredients in your products.
Hmm. And I want to ask you about this because we just sort of got talking about this before we started recording here. And I mentioned to you that today's episode is brought to you by allergy medication, because that is what is bringing me to the microphone today and holding me up today in more ways than one. So tell me about this topic we were speaking about before we started recording, about the efficacy of CBD, CBG, and or CBN with allergy medication or allergy prevention.
Yeah, I mean, there's been there, there is, as we know, like there's so much continued ongoing research, and so CBG, and CBD obviously have a lot of anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties, and allergies are often a response to environmental, either environmental or things that we ingest. And so, if you're taking in these ingredients like CBG and CBD, then you're helping to manage that fight of the inflammation, which is then triggering allergy. So there's been some recent studies on that. Of course, there's ongoing research, and we can't exactly say that's exactly what they do,
Right,
but
right.
there has been some research around that topic.
Got it. Now, you mentioned this just briefly a second ago, that there are over 1,400. Let me make sure I get the number right. Yeah, over 1,400 chemicals and ingredients that have been either banned or restricted in other places in the world, such as the European Union and Canada, for
Mhm.
personal use in care product in wellness products. But they are still widely utilized here in the United States, which is, you know, perhaps not surprising to hear, but still shocking to hear, right? So,
Right.
that being said, tell me about Element's never ever promise and what that does to sort of address that issue.
Yeah, so I mean, if you think of the foundation of our business, the product started because somebody needed access to clean and safe products. And so that mission carries through everything that we do. And we believe everybody deserves access to those types of products that are clean and safe. And so we really
Mhm.
try to go above and say, we're not just saying this because everybody could just say it, but we're really committing to not using these 1,400 ingredients. And there's, other things as well in terms of being sustainable and making sure that all of our ingredients are safe because we could not use them, but we could still use ingredients that are not sustainably sourced well or
Right.
grown not in great ways. So it really is our commitment. And we recently got Cert Clean certification also, which is another certification similar to EWG that verifies that we don't use any of these harmful or toxic ingredients. And we did that because, again, we could say, hey, trust us. But really, especially in this space, there's been so many companies that have not completely, like you said, hiding ingredients and proprietary blends and
Hmm.
not exactly knowing if your ingredients are under a certain percentage. You don't even have to put them on your label. So what's a consumer to really trust? So these third party certifications and the commitments and promises that companies are making to be better are really important for the consumer to look at, whether it's our products or another brand's products. Really look at the ingredients, go to EWG, make sure that the ingredients are safe, look at even the European Union and say, well, why is this safe here, but it's not safe here? So just do the work because these are products that you're putting on your body and in your body. It's just such an important topic to talk about.
Certainly, and you also mentioned a little bit earlier that you're happy to get on your soapbox at any point to advocate this information, which I love, and you have certainly. I'm glad you've come here because this is certainly the platform for you to do that. Um,
Mhm.
I tried to pitch them soapbox it out, but they didn't want that. They went with hash it out. Understood, understood. But that being said, tell me about um, your personal investment in this and what this means to you personally, particularly like you said in a world where these products are a lot of companies hide behind the idea of a proprietary blend, and the the cannabis industry overall, including CBD, the world of CBD is so heavily scrutinized at all times. People are always trying to poke holes into the legitimacy of the industry. So what does this personally mean for you?
I mean, personally, in creating a brand, what would I want to buy? What would I feel comfortable using on myself or recommending to a family and friend? And like I said, the start of the company started there, and really keeping that focus to say everybody deserves access to this. And this is what I would feel comfortable myself actually giving to somebody, and holding to those standards. Because how can you hide behind the fact of profitability or pushing out products just for the sake of growing your brand when you yourself might not even give that product to your mom? My mom uses our products. She loves our products. My grandma uses our products and love our products. And I feel good knowing that we've gone through the extra effort, that everything that they're using and putting on their body is going to help them positively and not have any negative effects with it. Of course,
Hmm.
some people are more sensitive to lavender, for example, or certain ingredients. But I also know that everything that's in our product, we've really gone above to really make sure that as a brand that we can stay, and stand behind our products. And I think all consumer product companies really have a responsibility to take into consideration the health of the consumer and think about what you're putting into your products, and how as a brand that you really want to position yourself.
Hmm. Now,
Yeah, see my soapbox.
I love it. Oh, I love it. Absolutely. Anytime, please come on in and jump on that soapbox. You mentioned that the company, sort of officially launched in December of 2020. I mean, how was that? There was certainly a lot going on in the world in December 2020, and of course continues to be going on. Um, that was really December 2020 was really, in a lot of ways, the height of a lot of, particularly the pandemic in this country. So, what was it like to launch a company during all of that?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was definitely challenging, and we planned to launch a little bit earlier, but it was tricky even finding manufacturers that were willing to work with us, working with non-preservative based products and making sure that their shelf life stable. And so some of that process, especially with the start of COVID, took longer. So
Yeah.
here we are, and we have these products, and we just decided to go for it. And whether it was small cells or big cells, at least we were starting to get our product in the hands of people and starting to gain brand awareness. And every day we saw new CBD companies launching, and we're like, okay, we gotta get out there and put ourselves out there to start getting that brand awareness and having people know about us. And so yeah, it was challenging, but at the same time, it's never too late to start, and you can never start too early. So it's like, just go for it. Let's do this, and we'll figure out how we actually get ourselves out there and gain the recognition that we're hopeful that we get from a consumer base.
Certainly. And with all that being said, my final question for you then is, what do you foresee as the future for CBD wellness and the CBD wellness industry? And what are you personally looking forward to the most over at Element Apothec? What have you got up in the works?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of look at where the industry is going with wellness and skincare, and I really think companies looking to some of the other minor cannabinoids and functional ingredients that exist outside of CBD to really make the products as effective as possible. I anticipate that's really going to be a shift in people looking not to just ingestibles, but how can we actually incorporate this into our skincare routines,
Hmm.
or our beauty routines, and partnering more with doctors to really start understanding from a larger perspective how this actually impacts people, and looking at observational studies and things like that. Because I think that really is going to be the shift when you have the doctors and practitioners behind these products that are advocating for it and making the consumer feel like, okay, this is safe. I feel comfortable. If my doctor's telling me this, then maybe I'm comfortable trying it. I don't have to just worry or question anymore, because there's still so much of that exists with so many of the unfortunate stigmas that were created in this space.
Certainly. Certainly.
So, and then in terms of Element Apothec, and we're going to continue pushing. We really have a focus on gaining brand awareness. That's my goal, is to just get us out there and for people to know about us and experience our products, and to really help them every day have an experience where it can be a little bit better, whether it's a lot better or a little bit better, but just really to add better to everybody's lives. And we'll continue to push out more products. We're looking at some functional specific products to really be able to help people in certain areas that they need, working with our integrative medical doctor and integrative dermatologist, and some kind of fun products that really there isn't a lot of space currently taken up in the market. So that's where we're growing.
I love that. Well, we will certainly leave Element Apothec's information in the description of this episode for our viewers and our listeners to check y'all out. And Davina Kaonohi, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the time. Please continue the good work over at Element, and please continue to stay healthy and stay safe out there.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Always staying healthy and safe is
Oh,
important.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's all we can ask for nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Certainly.
exactly.
Well, that's it for Hash It Out, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I am your host, RJ Balde, as always, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out. everybody. Thanks for checking out our channel. Click here to watch another episode of Hash It Out. To find more cannabis industry reporting, insider stories, and to stay up to date on the latest trends, make sure to subscribe and keep up with our TRICHOMES community app. Download it now for free, and we'll see you there.